Right. Okay. It's a sound design session today, and what we're going to do is make a kind of an auto suspense instrument that provides eerie sounds that you might or might not find useful. Yeah, so if I what I've got here is I've got this instrument on here, and I've just got a MIDI clip here which I've picked a random set of notes. So you know, you just need one note really. You don't have to have all this lot. In fact, let's get what am I doing here? That's supposed to be there. But tell you what, let's just disable these notes. So you could do this with chords, but we'll just disable those. And we'll just have a C3. And I left a little bit of a gap there at the end. So 32 bar length, right? Okay. So, ooh. And we've got a few parameters we can move around. It basically consists of noise and tones. And we've got a few parameters. They haven't been terribly well organised here, but tones. We can change the echo times, which helps to change the tone in a weird way. Reverb size. Right, both together. Okay, so let's see if we can now recreate this. So what we're going to do is, if I copy this MIDI clip to here, we'll start with a brand new thingy. Don't want that, do I? I want this. Right, we want an instance of operator on here. Right, okay, now what should we do? On this one, we're going to have just two operators going. Right, we're going to start with noise. Okay, so if we come to operator A, we'll choose a noise loop. Right. We'll have it fixed, and a lot of these you can set what you like, and you just get weird sounds. So let's just start with some arbitrary values here. Frequency 250 Hertz, multi 0.1. We'll set the volume down to about 40 because this can get quite loud. And then we'll have operator B going into operator A. This is also going to be fixed. We'll set this at about 50 Hertz, and multi 1 only have a moderate amount going input, and this stays as a sine wave. What does that do? This could be horrible. Stand by. I just got some noise. Right, okay. Right, what we're going to do at this point is switch the LFO on. Now this is a critical part. We want the sample and hold. You want the low value here and a rate of around about 20, something like that. Not too critical. We want it 100% amount though. And a filter, we want the band pass about 1,000, anywhere around mid-range. That'll do. Res about 80. You can actually do this on here. Yeah, you can see. There you go, something like that. What does that give us? Not a lot. Not really doing much at all, is it? Oh, I know. Yeah, you want the filter on. You want the LFO changing the filter. Of course, of course. Right, okay, that'll do for that. Now, I'll tell you what we'll do at this stage. We'll do some... no, we'll just carry on, right. Now, so that's... we'll call this noise. Now, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to group this, because I want the other part of it, tones, to have separate things happening with it, rather than try and all do it with the one LFO and the one filter. We'll have a second instance of this. So we're going to have another instance of operator going in here. This time we're going to call it tones. Should call that one tones there, shouldn't I? For consistency. Now on the tones, we want a similar kind of thing where we've got B feeding into A. So we'll have, this is not going to be fixed, although you might just want to change the fine a bit because we don't want it all to be too harmonious. And then B is going to be, we can set this a bit higher. You can set this what you like. Let's set it all the way up here to 8. We'll set the fine to something pretty random, and we'll feed this in quite a bit here. Again, we want the LFO on, and we're going to do sample and hold all the way up, keep it on the low value, and this time we're going to have a rate of about 40, something like that. Band pass filter, around about mid-range somewhere like that. Res to about 80, something like that. And again, we want the LFO to change the filter as well. So if I now play both of them, let's see how loud that is. Oh. Few random tones. Right. So next what we're going to do is add an echo. Audio effects. And here we'll uncouple the left and the right. We'll also have it timed, so you can set these to what you like. Let's have one fairly small one and one a bit larger. We'll have ping pong, dry wet, 100%. Wow. Feedback quite high. Now, let's add something which is quite good to enhance this, an auto pan. So it makes the effects come from left and right. And we're going to have, we want the amount to be about, I don't know, what do we think? What do we think? Right, we want a fairly low rate so it doesn't oscillate too fast, pretty slow. Shape about 50%, something like that. Now for extra eeriness, of course you want a reverb. If we set the size pretty low and we set the decay time quite high and dry wet also pretty high, I don't know whether it's not probably not necessary to change this, but we will. High. Because this can get quite loud, I think it's good to have a compressor on it and a limiter. So we'll put a compressor on it just here, and we'll set this to quite high compression. We'll bring the threshold down to -50, right? And we will turn the makeup off. But we'll have the output quite high. We'll also add a limiter while we're here. Right. So it levels things out a bit. Ooh. Right. So what we got so far, we've got noise. two operators, one feeding into the other, and the key is this sample and hold LFO that affects both the volumes and the filter. No, not that. Yeah, it affects the tone, the pitch, I think, doesn't it? It affects the frequency of modulator A. All right, let's turn that off. See what happens. What I meant to do was do the other one. Let's just. It's all a case of what you like. All completely random. Similar thing with the noise, except we've got fixed values, and the main sound is looped noise modulated by a sine wave. Again, we've got sample and hold LFO with a moderately small rate and a bandpass frequency. We've got some echo on the end of it with the left and right decoupled, ping pong, high feedback, full dry and wet, and then we've got this long reverb and quite a long decay time, quite wet. But this this size, if you modulate that when it's going, you get this nice change in tones. Same as when you change the left and right, because it changes pitch instantly. Right, so that's what we've got. Now what? I think another thing maybe we ought to control is the sub bass coming out of this. So if we just stick this right on the end and we simply set that to about 140, something like that, so you don't get too much sub bass coming out of it. Right, what we're going to do now is we'll call it auto suspense or auto eerie. We're going to group everything here. Control G. Yes. And at that point, let's have a look at the macros. Now, the things that you're going to change most often, you might as well put in the macro control. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to say map to macro 1, map to macro 2, echo dry wet, macro 3, we'll do the reverb size. We'll do the reverb dry wet. We'll do the reverb decay. And we'll do the auto pan amount as well. So let's just tidy these up. There we are. Now, we also going to add a few more things inside this instrument here, we're going to do noise LFO rate. So noise LFO rate, noise frequency, noise volume, that's this one down here. We're going to do a similar thing for tones. Tones LFO rate, tones frequency, and this overtones level here. So this coarse value that feeds into operator A. Let's do that. And I think, yes, we also want this. Right, I'm now confused what I've done here. We've got LFO rate. That's going to be the noise one, isn't it? Noise LFO rate. Noise frequency, noise volume, that's operator A. This is going to be the tones LFO rate. This is going to be the tones frequency. We'll call this one overtones level. Right, I think we're missing one. Noise, LFO, frequency and volume. Tones, LFO, rate, frequency. Oh yeah, no, right, no, I got it. This is tones. Ooh, what did I do? Idiot. What we want here, this is tones, volume. Okay, let's colour these. Ew, that's horrible, it's too garish. Too garish. That's more like it. Oh. Yeah, that'll do. We don't need that to be a colour because it's got nothing on it. Ooh. I'm just going to save this set. Right. So that should be it. Now I wonder what happens. So here we go. Let's just see if we can. Now what we'll do is we'll get rid of the instruments here. Get rid of the echo. Get rid of the reverb. Hide them all. Tidy it all up. There we are. And all we have to do is leave these two things there. Get rid of the chain. And now we've got 15 things to mess about with. Let's go. Go. Right, the sound should be dying away because we've got no volume here. Gradually increase the noise. So let's just play back with the noise. So if you have this at a higher frequency, you get more of a chattering sound. Keep it subtle. Right, switch noise off. Let's increase the tones. So if we reduce this overtones level, we get it's not such a high bell sound. Again, you get a chirpy, chattering sound if you have this at a higher speed. Now we're bringing the noise. No auto pan. Maximum auto pan. Medium auto pan. Right, I'm sure there's a lot more you can do with that. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.